Is it me or there we go? All right, I thought maybe I was just losing my voice. It's been a long day. So Peter, a grateful recovering alcoholic, still. I just want to take a few minutes, we only really have a few minutes, but I want to just take a few minutes and talk about our breakfast this morning. It was a tremendously huge success. I want to first off thank Cal Tire and Darcy for sponsoring the event, and they also came and worked the breakfast this morning. I want to thank Anthony Kotzos for all his hard work yesterday. He came and boiled all the sausages and got them ready to be browned this morning, and then came in early this morning and I think with Daryl's help got that big griddle up on the stove and got all the sausages browned and ready to go. Daryl brought so many guys from Simon House that came out. I don't know that I've ever shown up, and I've done pancake breakfasts here for likely 20 years, and showed up in the morning at 6 o'clock and had people waiting in the back alley to come to work, and I'm wondering what to do. And it's always chaos first thing in the morning when you're trying to think, oh, who am I going to get to do this and who can do that? And you know, we have certain people who are going to do something, they haven't shown up yet, and so we're going to teach somebody else how to do that. So it's always chaos in the beginning. And as we get the tables out on the mall and get the barbecues out and get things set up, things start to fall into place, and everybody kind of watches and what can I do, what needs to be done. And my goodness, you guys did a tremendously good job, Daryl. We had people from the Dream Center as well, and a couple of guys from Fresh Start, and people that aren't necessarily in recovery or in the recovery houses here to help out this morning. Tom mixed the pancake batter and did a great job doing that. I don't know how many pails of batter he brought out to us, but I'm thinking that we went through 11 big Costco packages of pancake mix, and they do 280 pancakes a batch, so we did lots. Thanks, Daryl, for bringing all the guys from Simon House. Yeah, thank you. I want to thank my son, Devin, who isn't here tonight. He and my wife and the two boys went out to Drumheller today. He's up visiting from California with his son, Wiley, and his son's best friend, Joshua, and they all kicked in and worked hard this morning. They're pretty beat after this morning. They're not worse California. They're not worse. We're used to working that hard. But they were a big help, and everybody else that pitched in and did stuff. It was an awesome morning. Of course, Guy and Mary and Dennis Grady, providing the music and the atmosphere. I mean, it's really, really neat to go to an event like that at 8 o'clock in the morning. People are two-stepping out on the sidewalks and they're dancing. And this morning, I don't know how many of you noticed it, but we had how many of you guys know what a go-go boy is? I may be aging myself a little bit. We had our own go-go boy dancing in front of the stage this morning, and he did really well. He took off his sweatshirt, then he took off his shirt, and I said to Thomas as we were cooking pancakes, I said, keep an eye on him. If he goes for the pants, I think it's time to escort him out. But he didn't. He just had a great time, and he was obviously enjoying himself on some substance. I'm not sure what it was, but he was not causing any problems or any harm. He was just having a ball, dancing to the music, dancing to Guy's good music and Mary's music. We started feeding people a little bit earlier. Normally we don't start till 8 o'clock, but we had the griddles going, and it always takes a batch or two of pancakes, or a few anyway, just to get those temperatures right and to get them cooking properly. And so we did that, and I saw 2 or 3 people kind of looking at us as if they were hungry. And so we started feeding about 7:40 this morning. Some of the homeless people are around there, and they were very appreciative. We went straight through till about, 11:45, I guess. Ran out of sausages about 10, which is about the right timing because we normally shut it down at 10. And they kept bringing out pancake batter, so we said, well, the lineup wasn't ending, so we kept feeding pancake batter or pancakes to the people in the line. Darcy did an estimate from the amount of plates we used and knives, forks, and spoons. And like a conservative, we served somewhere in the neighborhood of 900 people this morning at that breakfast. So. We had an abundance of volunteers, as I said, and it's always great. We got people that can do all kinds of things. So a couple of boys that were real busy rented a couple of scooters, and they went out touring, and they toured all around here telling people, particularly homeless people, that the breakfast was on, and they went over to the DI and sent a bunch of people over from the DI. Might have contributed to the 900 people who were in the line, but I know guys would go out and look, and it was right down to Center Street most of the morning. And that's awesome. While we're working on the griddles, you don't even look up. You just kind of, oh, they're still coming, they're still coming. So it was good. I think it was likely one of the most successful events we've done in a long time in that respect. So I couldn't be happier. I know Thomas and Darcy were all smiles ear to ear, and it's good to see those things happen. It's good to see the people that we run into on the street from day to day, week to week, and we're not coming up and getting some food. I know we got rid of some clothing as well to a few of those people this morning, and I had some people bring them in and get the clothing. And this is all part of our mission. It's part of our outreach to the homeless community, to the recovery community, the people that are struggling with life in general. That's what we're here for. That's what we need to do. But not only is it what a church needs to do, it's what we need to do as a recovery community. And that's part of our 12th step. It's part of reaching out. It's part of giving back, because we can't keep what we have if we don't give it away. Simple as that. If we don't get involved, we don't start giving back into our community in many different ways, and this is one of them, we won't keep our sobriety. We let our egos and our selfish self-centeredness take over in time, and pretty soon it's all about us and not about anybody else, and we're back into our old ways. That happens, doesn't it? Yes, it does, right? It just does. It's just, it's a recipe. And we hear when we come into recovery that anything we put ahead of our recovery, we're going to lose, and we don't believe it usually as a rule. It's just one of those little sayings on the wall that Guy sings about often. But it's true. It's so true. If we don't put recovery first in everything we do, we're going to lose it. And it doesn't take that much extra work to do it. Okay, it wasn't that much extra work to come out this morning, and so we fed people out of the hotel. I'm sure we fed a lot of those people. We fed a lot of American tourists, or foreign tourists, not just Americans, foreign tourists, but we fed a lot of our homeless people as well, and people that we really take kindly to and depend on us, right? So I just want to encourage us as we move forward in this church to get more involved in those types of activities. I want to encourage you all to be more proactive in your thoughts on what we should be doing as a recovery community, as a church community in this particular area. Addictions and homelessness are at its all-time high. I've never, ever, in the last 20 years, seen it as bad as it is today. And there's going to be more and more homeless people that are gainfully employed with good income that can't afford the outrageous rents that are happening in this city. And even if you can find a place, which most people can't, you can't afford to rent them. And there's going to be people living in their cars, and their university students living in their vans outside the school because they can't afford to rent, they can't find anything to rent. And I think as a community, we can help out in many different ways. So I'm always open to good ideas, open to volunteers. I know Tina does such a great job downstairs in the clothing room. She always needs people helping her. We're hoping to have this kitchen open and running. We did do some work down there this morning, but the fan that we were told was working, I don't think was. If it was allergic to smoke because it wasn't taking it out. But whatever, we got the job done. And what we want to eventually do is start 1 or 2 days a week opening up with food and hoping people will come in and get clothing, and eventually have it go into a full-time soup kitchen type of thing, whether it's a breakfast, lunch, or whatever. We'll figure that out with your help. We need your help to do those things and whatnot. I always stay in a constant state of gratitude for my recovery and for everything that recovery has done for me and is doing for all of you, because I sit here every Sunday night or stand here every Sunday night and I watch you and I watch you grow. I watch the people coming from the recovery communities and watching them grow and get more confident and getting better recovery. And then they move out, they go to the Dream Center, go into other sober housing, Oxford House and whatnot, and they keep coming back and they keep growing as long as they keep working the program. And it gives me a great pleasure and great gratitude for that. And I have to stay grateful for everything that recovery has done for me. in the last 30 years. But without working our program, without giving back, it won't happen. So I'm not going to go much further tonight. I think that's it. I just want to encourage all of you to keep coming back, get involved, open your mouth and give us your opinion on what it is you'd like to get involved in, what it is that maybe we could do differently. I thought it was remarkable that somebody thought this morning to get on a scooter and drive around and advertise our breakfast. It was awful. Well, not awful, it was awesome. I knew this was going to happen tonight. It's just at the end of a long day. We have in the past had guys go out. We did a clothing thing in December, and we had several of our drug court guys go out and around to the homeless community and brought them back here, and we had about 100 people that day come and get clothing, and it was awesome. So we need to, people are brave enough to do that. Some are, some aren't, and that's okay, because there's a different job here for everyone with different skills and different talents, and just want you to get involved, bring people in. That's what we're here to do. So, Joseph, you were a colossal help today. Just went over and beyond whatever you needed to do. So thank you so much. Joseph was one of those guys that would always look to see what needed, and he would outguess you, outthink you. Every minute he would have it already done for you, or say, hey, I think you should do this, and he was off doing it. And I just appreciate that so much. It makes our lives so much easier. So come and get involved, right? Okay? With that, I think, if I can find our closing prayers, are they going to come up? You know, I do, but the minute, well, you come up here and lead them, Darcy. The minute I try to do them, I stumble on them, as everybody. I don't leave anything to chance. I have notes for everything as a rule. So join me in our closing prayers, the seventh step prayer. My Creator, I am now willing that you should have all of me, good and bad. I pray that you now remove from me every single defect of character which stands in the way of my usefulness to you and my fellows. Grant me strength as I go out from here to do your bidding. Amen. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.